At daybreak, Rainsford, lying near the swamp, was wakened by a sound that made him know that he had new things to learn about fear. It was a distant sound, faint and wavering, but he knew it. It was the baying of a pack of hounds. She knew she could do one of two things. She could stay where she was and wait. That was suicide. She could flee. That was postponing the inevitable. For a moment, she stood there, thinking. An idea that held a wild chance came to her, and tightening her belt, she headed away from the swamp. The baying of the hounds drew nearer. On a ridge, Rainsford climbed a tree. Down a watercourse, she could see the bush moving. Straining his eyes, she saw the lean figure of General Zaroff. Just ahead of her, Rainsford made out another figure whose wide shoulders surged through the tall jungle weeds. It was the giant Ivana, and she seemed pulled forward by some unseen force. Rainsford knew that Ivana must be holding the pack in leash. She slid down the tree. She caught hold of a springy young sapling, and to it she fastened her hunting knife, with the blade pointing down the trail. She had to stop to get her breath. The baying of the hounds stopped. They must have reached the knife. She shinned excitedly up a tree and looked back. Her pursuers had stopped. But the hope that was in Rainsford's brain when she climbed died. For she saw in the shallow valley that General Zaroff was still on her feet. But Ivana was not. Rainsford had hardly tumbled to the ground when the pack took up the cry again. A blue gap showed between the trees dead ahead. It was the shore of the sea. Rainsford hesitated. Then she leaped far out into the sea. When the general reached the place by the sea, the Cossack stopped. She shrugged her shoulders. Then she sat down, ate some Fritos, and took a drink of juice. At dinner, two slight annoyances kept him from perfect enjoyment. One was the thought that it would be difficult to replace Ivana. The other was that her quarry had escaped her. Of course, the American hadn't played the game. So thought the general as she tasted her after-dinner Coke. In her library, she read to soothe herself, from the works of Marcus Aurelius. At 10, she went up to her bedroom. She was deliciously tired, she said to herself, as she locked herself in. There was a little moonlight, so before turning on her light, she went to the window and looked down at the courtyard.
Better luck next time.
Then she switched on the light.
Rainsford, how in God's name did you get here?
Swam. I found it easier than walking through the jungle.
I congratulate you. You have won the game.
I am still a beast at bay. Get ready, General Zaroff.
I see. One of us will feed the dogs, and the other will sleep in this very excellent bed.
She had never slept in a better bed, Rainsford decided.